who just walked in the door. Perfect timing, all right? Mike McMurray, played halfback, played in the defensive backfield for us. And, I'll tell you, whether we were putting him in at safety on defense or spy or cornerback on the left side, on the right side, he was one of those kids that, whenever you asked him or called him over, he would always kind of give you that smile, and he would always say, "Yes, coach." And it's just one of those things that, I'm thinking about what am I going to say about Mike. And, it's just one of those things that he's just such a great kid. He said, "Yes, coach," every time. And, and certainly that's, the kind of, player that every coach would like. All right, Mike, come on up here, man. Stick around again.
Sorry. It's all good. All right. The next guy I really want to talk about is he started the season off on vacation, not really vacation, just visiting family. So he was a couple days behind the ball right off the beginning. So he came in, a little timid at first. And the greatest thing about the guy is he played himself onto the special teams right off the bat, and he got himself to be one of the guys. Coach talks about his favorite moments. One of my favorite moments I had all season was our Wachkill Valley game. When the game was in question, we had an onside kick, and my buddy Cruz, just like the pros, comes up, makes this amazing grab. He's just right there at the right time, grabs it. He looks at me, and I'm like, yeah! I was screaming higher, louder than anybody else at one time. And, all season long, he brought this intensity right on the kickoff, and you knew that, he wanted it. He was going to make the hit every time. And, it was just a pleasure to see him from the beginning work his way up over towards the end. I can't wait to see him next year. Come on up, Eric.
This next guy kind of had an untimely injury at the end of the year, but was a kid that certainly came out to practice, and you kind of ask him to try many different things, whether it be on the special teams with some kicking stuff, or eventually he found his niche in the defensive backfield, and again, it was just very unfortunate that he kind of got hurt and missed a couple games at the end of the year. But just a great kid, and before you know it, you need a defensive play. He's making a play, all right, and again, just a great kid to be around, all right. And I really enjoy coaching, Hasek. Tom, where are you? Hasek. Yeah. I never called you. Tom.
All right, this next guy he's got a brother in the program, and he's following his footsteps, and he's one of my big guys I always talk about. I love this guy. He comes in every single day, no matter the temperature, the feeling, how much homework he has. He's one of the loudest guys in practice all year, and he screams his butt off on the sideline, and we try to put him in as much as we can, and he's just one of the pleasures to coach around here, and that's Paul Bortzel. I know, I always say it wrong. Call him Paul, I did. Wait till I get the next one.
This next guy is great athletic ability. This kind of guy you look at and say, I definitely would like to have this kind of kid on my football team. Was a two-way guy. I played on some special teams as well, and certainly made some very, very key plays in a lot of our games. All right, whether it was a tough run, okay, or a big defensive stop, big play, okay, a ton of fun. You never know what the guy's going to say to you, out there on the field, or when he's going to try to show you his abs or something like that. But again, and there's definitely going to be a trend. But another great kid to coach, and I'm happy I got the chance, and that's Ratchford. Yeah.
All right, this next guy, Well, when I started coaching, I came in about a week not really knowing who these guys were. So first I didn't know their faces coming up, and then they put helmets on, and at that point you're wondering who's who. So I started giving these guys nicknames right off the bat. And first I started off with TW, so it was Tommy Wichiscola, and then I went to Wichicola because I couldn't remember Wichiscola anymore. So and then I got to the Wichiscola. I always say it wrong still, but I just call him TW because I've never said his last name right, and I said this would be the day I would say it right, which I didn't yet. So how do you pronounce it? Where is it, family? Wichiscola. See, I got it. So TW, there you go.
For the record, I never messed that up.
But that's why you had it, right? But the guy came in every day with intensity. He came in ready to hit everybody. I put him on defense right in the beginning, and I remember that he hit the sled and his knee went backwards. I'm going, oh my God, here we go. Like, I didn't want to lose this guy because he's one of our good guys in the program to have. Just has a lot of intensity, and he comes in every drill 100%. And I always put him against anyone I wanted to give a challenge to because he was just a pleasure to coach. So, Tommy, come on up. One day. There you go.
This next guy, absolutely great kid. All right, the attitude on this kid is outstanding. All right, every day, I think he really enjoyed being a part of this team, and every day he's out there and he's working hard, and I think he's just having a good time with his buddies, which again, what it all boils down to is what this game's all about. All right, and this guy played on special teams. And it's just a great kid, and I love being around kids like this and coaching kids like this, and that's Will. Send him on. You never know what you're gonna get when you hear the kids talk about nicknames, and we always have a bunch of nicknames when I come into the program, and kids are introducing their friends, and you're hearing and this is so and so, and this is so and so, and this is cheeseball. And I don't just dive in. I kind of got to get the history. I just feel like it's a good thing to get the history before I call a kid by some nickname. And that's a great story. If anyone doesn't know it, ask Will about it. It's a good story. Thank you, Matt. Okay.
All right, moving on. Next guy, I love this guy though. He's a fun guy to have in practice. I always made him into a linebacker, even though he was a D lineman, and he used to get so excited to play linebacker in practice all the time. Special teams. I gave him his own nickname. I said he has a career already, PJ the DJ, coming right at him. I figured I had a good flow right in the beginning. But the guy came right on to special teams. He was our frontline guy, and you could always depend on him. If there's onside kick, he was there. He was on our hands team. We just loved having the guy in this program, and he's what this program's all about. A guy that doesn't care about himself, just wants to play and help the team any way possible. So, Paul, come on up, Arjun.
This next guy, he came out to practice, and you look at him, and again, he's one of these guys that's got good size, and he looks like he's put together, and it didn't work out for him in the beginning of the year, and he kept asking coaches, what can I do to get on the field? What can I do to get on the field? And we're talking to him about doing this and doing that, and before you know it, just the biggest thing that jumped out to Coach and I was we were actually doing a drill, a tackling drill, a hitting drill, and it was real physical, and all of a sudden you just kind of see, and it was like boom. And first of all, you're like, is everyone okay? And then after that, you're kind of like, did you just see that hit? And and it was just a physical thing, and before you know it, we put this kid out there on defense in the defensive secondary, and was making very, very big plays and learning things very quickly, and I'll tell you, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, you certainly saw the transformation was the last game of the year. The quarterback, the running back, Whitney running back, now quarterback scrambling to his right, running to the goal line, and Wexler meets him right there at the goal line and drops the kid, and it was such a hit, and it was a very cool thing, so Lexi, come on up.
Let's see, this next guy probably has more jumpsuits than anyone that is retired. He's also wearing my favorite player in basketball, so I do appreciate it though. But this guy, first day of practice, everyone goes, "Oh, look out for Dirty Dan," or Dirty D, Dirty Dan. I'm like, who is this player, you know? You look at the guy, and he's just built to be a football player. The best part about the kid is, you know, as soon as he puts that helmet on, he is physically nuts. Like, he cannot wait to hit somebody, go crazy. And, you know, some days, you know, coaching, you get a little tired, and players, obviously, you start dragging a little bit towards the end. And every day I'd walk in, I remember one day I just had my head down, and this kid every single day will come out of nowhere and just hit me. And I'm like, what is going on? And, you know, I probably should have stopped it the first day, but it just doesn't stop. So now when I come into the room, and the locker room, I'm looking around for the guy. But honestly, he came in, he started DN, and he was one of our, you know, big guys down the middle, stopping all the runs. And towards the end, you could see he just developed into such a good football player, and the sky's the limit with this guy. Come on up, Dan Getz.